Hi, how's it going? Today I'm gonna talk about how to comp a singer if you are playing trio. It's for pianists this live. I'm gonna show you some details, how I think the chords, how I behave myself to give life to the music, and some important details that I see that a lot of musicians doesn't worry themselves and sometimes they don't sound good because of that. All right, so I'm gonna use today the song O Barquinho. It's by Roberto Menescal. I'm gonna show you the melody just to have reference, and you can find it in real book. Okay, so the melody is that. Here in Brazil, we often play this song in F. Just so you know, if you come to Brazil to play with Brazilian musicians, the dominant tonality here played here is in F major. I think it's in G in real book. All right. So the first thing that I think it's important when you are playing with a trio, and you know the song, it's you don't need the drummer to count in the song to start it. So you can take the last four measures and give the intention of what you want. Sometimes I have played here in Brazil in a situation that I didn't have the opportunity to. I play all the nights, sometimes with different musicians that I didn't have the opportunity to make any rehearsal. So I have to learn how to give clear ideas of how to play for the other musicians, so they could play together with me without being necessary these rehearsals. And how to make the introduction of this. I don't know if there is any known introduction of the sound, so I'm gonna use the last four measures. So with this, I already show to the other musicians the tempo and the intention of what is and what I'm thinking the song. For example, I'm gonna do. So here I gave the last four measures, I gave the tempo, and another thing, I played in a slow tempo, I give the intention of bossa, and one thing I think also, I think it's important to give at least eight bars of introduction, so the musicians won't have to start playing in a few time. They feel the song, and they start playing together with you. All right. When they start to play, I stop to show the bass part. All right. I start to play without the root note. So when I have done the introduction, all right, it's time to begin. This song, it's a very short song with I think it's 16 measure, so probably it's good to repeat when the singer is in doubt if he or she has to repeat. This have two different lyrics in each repetition, but in short songs, when the singer has some doubt, I I make some sign. Here in Brazil we can do this sign and this of the repetition bars, alright? This in here, I don't know if in the other countries is that, but this is a sign that we show to another musicians that they have to repeat. So when I start, the bass start doing the bossa nova beat, the bossa nova groove. It's very simple, marking the tempos, the beats, and the drums. Tac 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 tac. Some groove. There are different grooves for bossa nova, but she or she starts to play. And so when I begin a song, I like to start with more space. I'm always thinking the bossa nova pattern, ta ta pa 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 pa, but sometimes I play longer notes. And so I think with a lot of space, in the next repetition I start to play to put more rhythm. 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and note that I put a little bit more of rhythm, and together with it I put some counter melodies, so in a very easy way, alright, because bossa nova has this language, and also taking advantage of the space of the melody. So sometimes to connect the chords. Let me do another time. All right, my connection was in trouble. Let's show one more time. I'm using now in this, I decided to play together with the melody, and this is recommendable to do just for in a few places. To be careful, because the singer probably is gonna sing with different divisions, so this is a way that you have to be careful, right? Don't play the whole melody together with the singer. Other way I like to use, it's during in the medium lower part. This is more, you have a more full sound. I don't if I know how the bassist is gonna play, I don't avoid the root notes because I can do stronger arpeggios here to play in this. Counter melody sounds very good when they are played in this octave. They sound strong. One thing you can take advantage of doing when you're playing trio with a singer, it's to change sometimes the tensions of the chords, especially in dominant chords. For example, you can play different kinds of dominant chords. For example, here I played an E sus and E7 with 13th, so I can play different. I'm changing the quality of the dominant chords. And you can change also details in the chords. For example, in a F major 7, the melody is not passing through the 5th, so I can start playing F major 7 with the augmented 5th, for example. For example, this C7 I played now with the flat 13th, but I can play with the major 13th. You have options when you are far from the melody in the tensions of chords. In minor chords you can change the 7ths, in major chord you can change the 5th, or can change sometimes the 7th if the melody is far, to creating some dissonant movement. And so you have a lot of harmony options because the melody is being predictable, and if you already played it, you can see what works and what not works in the harmony. So it's very interesting, this opportunity. Another detail that I think is very important when you're playing with a singer is to play in a comping volume, because there are people that always, when they are improvising and when they are just comping, they play at the same level, and this is a thing that I realized early. Because there are pianists there that are not comping anybody, they are playing just all the time to themselves. And when you are working with music, you have to serve the music, you have to work for the music sound good. So pay attention when you are soloing, you are finishing a solo, to make another level to the singer be heard in his or hers um, melody. All right. So, all right. So after that, for example, we sang two choruses. Let's do. One more time. And now I'm gonna solo. And when I'm gonna return, I give the sign to the singer and I show that the solo is finishing. That's important to look at the singer and he or she realize what you are doing. And I think it's very important to give the hand signs, because sometimes you want to make a scene that you finish the solo, but you're gonna bring some surprise in your play. So I always say to the musicians that sometimes they are in a hurry to return. I calm down, I'm gonna show you when to restart. All right. So, and when I return from a solo that the band grew up with me, I used to return with more rhythm. So I give the bossa nova a little bit of samba feel. So So for example, I'm using the syncopation playing in the upbeat of the and I do some counterpoint with the right hand. This double the voices also. I like the voicings I like to use. I like to use some forms based on the scale of the tonality here on the right hand, and with the help of the rootless chord on the left hand. This, for example, I use some forms. I play them with the chords here. When I want to do this counterpoint, I play in this medium register, alright? Because sometimes this is gonna sound a very weak when played with the rootless chord. If you play a chord of 3 notes on the left hand without nothing in the left hand, I'm sorry, and if I play a chord with 3 voices or 4 voices alone, it's gonna sound a little weak. So I recommend you to play, when you're playing higher, you play together. And so you can give energy. If you want to be lighter, you can play more spaced intervals. There was one thing that happened in this my last gig, that I want to hear some bass of samba in the second repetition. I felt that the bassist start to be more strong, so I decided to make some accents in the second beat on the bass. I showed the bassist this pattern during our play. In the first or second bar you do this, sometimes the bassist is gonna be surprised and commit some mistake with some cross, but if he or she understood your intention, he or she is going to double to play together with you this kind of bass, and the drums we're gonna do together also, so you can bring this this intention to the rhythmic part. All right. Other thing that I didn't know if I was clear about this, if you want to change the drums intention, you can play, for example, in a bossa nova, you are playing more legato using the pedal. The drums and the bass play more rhythmically, you can start to be more percussive without pedal, more staccato. For example, playing more pedal. So when you give this intention more staccato, if they are hearing you, we are gonna change the intention of the comping, and also the singer can do some different divisions without more legato. So this is gonna bring a lot of richness, and you do all of this without rehearsing. All right. The last thing I would like to show you is about how to end a song, because this is a thing people used iReal Pro or the Real Book also, and they don't know how to finish the song. So the songs sound a lot of interesting sometimes, but the ends are a disaster, man. They are a disaster. So I would like to show you how I think the ends of the songs. In this case of the song O Barquinho, we have some ostinato, but it's important to know how to end a rhythmic vamp, a harmonic vamp, because you have this part. This part in the song, it's intuitive to repeat. For example, if I'm playing, and the singer sang 3 times, and nobody knows what to do. So I play the melody, bringing the tempo, using a rallentando. And I give a sign each change of chord. Here in Brazil we use ending. So I think a lot of people doesn't know this end of the song. So I use, when I'm playing with musicians that don't know this and I play alone, let me show. So I tell them to stop, and if I want to use some different chord, I say A, because the bassist is not gonna guess if I create some reharmonization here. So I tell the root of the chord, and the bassist can sometimes make an arpeggio, recognizing with the ear what's gonna the chord that I played. So these were some resources I use to play in a group. I have a few gigs with this kind of group, and I think the role of the pianist in the trio with a singer, it's to give a clarity, to give the way and that the trio is gonna develop their ideas, and the singer also, but giving clarity, giving a clear way to the singer where to start singing, when the solo is gonna end, who is gonna solo. Sometimes I point that who is gonna make the next solo. And one thing that's very important also, it's that when you're improvising, you're doing solos, it's very important at the end of each chorus the musicians look to themselves. I know that you can musically indicate when they are going to end, when you are ending in a solo, but I think it's an important part that everybody has to look to the other musicians. The same thing on the coda at the end of the song, because sometimes you're gonna you're gonna do some ralentando, or sometimes you're gonna do some idea to everybody play in unison, and so the people has to be looking to themselves and know what's gonna be the last chord, because I see a lot of gigs and I had when people starts to just they sometimes musician did the last chord, after that the bassist played the next chord, after that the drummer played a cymbal, so the music doesn't have a clear end, and with this kind of conducting with the head you can be very clear about what's gonna happen and make everybody end together the song. Alright, so I hope I have helped you in your process of playing Brazilian music. These were some things that I've learned playing at it's not a nightclub exactly, but it's a restaurant that has live jazz that's called Familia Mancini, and I've learned with the musicians there playing every day, and in the first 3 months that I played there, I've played with 14 bassists, or 13, I don't remember exactly, but I started to know how to make the ideas clear for new bassists, and this was very important in my experience playing Brazilian music. So tell me if you like this kind of live, if you learned, if you want to make with different songs. That I think the button like it can help me, or the comments will help me how to guide this content in my channel. Alright, so that's it. I appreciate your audience, and see you for more lives and quick tips about the Brazilian accent improvisation, how to play the Brazilian piano in authentic way, or how to play the Brazilian music in authentic way. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and obrigado. Ciao, ciao.